All right, so we're going to talk about my set of. Let's see this. This must not be working. Is it? Oh, okay, good. It is. So I started off doing another stream. It got interrupted, and I tried to do another one after that got interrupted. If that happens again, I'll just upload a video because I'm not going to keep trying to drag people to check this out and then have it get screwed up because of circumstances that are not my fault. But at the same token, I understand where it is frustrating to think you're watching something and then have it get messed with. Um, One of the reasons that I hate the virus arc, so this saga that we've been in with this thing, is because people who are not given something to do via their work are basically scrambling to make stuff that doesn't matter important. This is why I've seen one individual say, this floor had to be replaced. These walls had to be replaced. So all of it is going together. And it's the same clown that messed up the other two. But look, as the content creator, I've tried to rectify it. I've tried to say that that should not be the case. As I mentioned before, there's only so much control I have over certain things. It's sad too because today started off pretty decent. I got up relatively early. I was working on this episode of my show that I've been kind of just plaguing me for the last couple of months due to the fact that I couldn't make it because of the VAs. Um, so it was like this weird downward spiral that came from interacting with this person earlier. It sucks, and it's why I have what is soon to be 3 videos showing almost 100 different applications because I recognize that it sucks. I recognize that these people are just unappreciative and really hindering of a lot of the stuff I try to do that I think is constructive. So I'll try to see if this one lasts. If it doesn't, I'll put up a video and that'll be it. Maybe third time's the charm. Who knows? So the first stream I did, Ruben came into it, and he was upset over the fact that Sanders had endorsed Biden. This is something that Dorr had mentioned this past week as being, actually not this past week, just over the course of the last couple of months, as being an inevitability. And it's all part of a pattern where we were talking about how his initial presidential campaign referring to Sanders was much more of a rebel effort than the latest one, due to things like this, where basically the fact that you would get out when most of the states haven't voted yet is weird. But then you factor in the other. I'm sorry, guys. These people just are. God, I try so hard to make this stuff. I really do. But imagine if while you're streaming, all you hear is just in the background. It's really annoying. No, Door was actually in the comment section of the stream that they did together today, and I actually screenshot a couple of those because for whatever reason, YouTube's doing this weird thing now where you have to wait a longer period for them to load the chats, the archive of it. So one of the things Dora wrote is Biden is just talking, no action. At another point, he said Biden set up the system to make deaf students must pay off loan, basically retorting a lot of what was being said throughout this 20 or 30 minute stream they did together. Jesus Christ. I can't say I don't blame you guys for coming. I pretty much got sabotaged. It has been entertaining to watch a lot of the people who have been trying to make the case for supporting either of the major party candidates because, as I mentioned before, a lot of times they try to scare you into, oh, this other one, if they get a second or first term, is going to do whatever. But even as they write all that crap, you know that you're still voting for the lesser of two evils. And that's why the stream got bombarded with as many dislikes as it did. It was 1.5 thousand downvotes to I think 800 likes by the end of it. It was a pretty similar reaction actually to when Sanders campaigned for Clinton, and he found the number of people who were willing to go to his live events dwindling because even if he himself is someone people like, her presence is a killer for excitement on the part of the people who he was trying to convince. It did catch me off guard because if you recall during the last debate that they had, neither major outlet I can think of actually criticized Biden for cognitive decline. So basically, in the last debate, no one said, "Hey, he's acting weird." Yeah, they gave him credit for being able to not sound insane or like his brain was melting for 2 hours straight. This is really crazy. I would almost think I have this on private. That's why I hate those interruptions, man. They really are a crowd killer. And I've tried to make it apparent that even if it's only, 3, 4, 5 people who show up, it's still better than nothing. There's some alternate universe where the application process wasn't as aggravating, and I'd actually been able to get one of these positions out here. And who knows, maybe that stream wouldn't have gotten messed up twice. And it's like the most weird, nebulous request. Shut up. That's why I said I'm in my own private hell. And that's why I'm going to put out the third excrement employers upload probably either today or tomorrow. Because, I mean, this stuff is just bad, you know? And I guess that's what I'm just sick of. People trying to pretend that things that suck are not as awful. Like when you get Sanders up there saying, Biden is my friend and I'm gonna endorse him and campaign for, you're endorsing a piece of garbage. When you want to go to school and people tell you that they can't afford to assist you, but then you see them buy a bunch of crap they don't need that costs the same amount. That's garbage. That's unforgivable. That's stupid. When you have someone say, "Help me with something," and they really mean, "Lift this for me," instead of me actually doing anything because they think you're Hercules, it's garbage. All of it is bad. And I can say that with confidence because I've acknowledged repeatedly that there are parts to certain things I don't like that are decent, whether that's a candidate or some scenario. But the overall product is just not worth it. Even that one person who said, "Oh, if you bring your subscriber count back, people will." It's like, dude, I had that on there for years, and I was stuck at the same number. But you want to try to convince me that it actually will make some difference after it was there year after year, making no difference whatsoever. It doesn't feel nice to downvote something that Sanders is involved with, but at the same token, I can't in good faith talk about how a candidate did this, that, and the other. It's the same thing with Gabbard, man. People spend months tearing each other down, and then they try to convince you to go and support that person. And it just doesn't work, at least not for me. The only thing I can really say has been funny over the last couple of hours was when someone had said that it wasn't actually Biden that was on the stream. It was some pre-recorded clip of him that was being played alongside a live Sanders. They gave him a transcript of what Biden was going to say in the clip. But that's a person who basically realizes he's not as demented as we think he is. And I brought that up when I was criticizing him heavily on Saturday, not as the main reason I wouldn't support him, but because it's one of a litany of reasons. So even if I go and say, oh, yes, he is now back to being mentally stable, we still have the Tara Reid allegations. We still have his actual voting record in the Senate and as vice president. It's just garbage. And now I've got to sit here for, let's see, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, for 7 months watching people try to pretend that this man actually is someone that they are rooting for and hoping will bring in some kind of great, wonderful change. It's really ludicrous. But yeah, I'll try to do the that stream I was doing earlier next week, and then I'll wrap this up now because nobody's watching anyway. So for those that were watching before and kind of got annoyed by all the interruptions, I apologize. Um, Again, this is the price I have to pay when I live with certain people, and I wish it wasn't this way. That's why I have the excrement employer series where you can literally watch me try to get out of this scenario video after video, month after month, and it just makes no difference. So thank you and have a good day.